when you have like actual legit anxiety, like it hasn't been like diagnosed, but I feel it in my chest sometimes. Even if nothing's happening, like I'll just wake up and have the feeling in my chest, like why do I feel like I'm about to die? And that's how I know, probably. Also, I've had panic attacks before. I'm just a nervous cat sometimes. So it's like, even though I haven't been diagnosed, it's kind of obvious with the way that my brain works. You know, I feel like a normal person doesn't go through the checklist of everything that could go wrong at any given moment, at any given time, immediately after I say something, and then panicking to try to make it seem okay, but only worsening it and making them hate me. But then, oh, they don't actually hate me because they messaged me the next day. But like, what if they remember it? What if they're just messaging me to be nice, to hide the fact that I said something weird the other day, and now they're just like... Now they're just trying to cover for it, you know? But they actually do hate me, and they're never gonna want to talk to me ever again. And if they ever say that they're busy after I said something weird, it's because I made it weird. And like, here's the most annoying part, is if I ever feel the need to like tell somebody, like I just need to tell somebody, it will help me feel better to tell somebody, they always tell me what I'm telling myself in my mind, but like, it's just not working. I'm gonna need a high-level distraction, not advice, because I told somebody that I was nervous for like, the anxiety started last night for packing, because I have bad packing anxiety. Like, what if I forget something and all the stuff like that. And I always tell myself, it's gonna be okay. So long as you have your identification, your phone, and your money, you can buy something if it's absolutely needed that you forget. It's not gonna be the end of the world if you forget something. So I tell my friend last night that I'm getting packing anxiety, but like I know that I can buy something if I forget it. And know what they tell me? Yeah, you can buy something if you get there. Don't worry about it. I just said that! Don't take my own advice for myself and tell it back to me! I'm already doing it. I'm working on 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 it. It just, the thing is, with anxiety and everything else like that, guys, is it does not follow, like, rational thoughts, you know? Same with, like, PTSD and stuff like that. Or, like, phobia. So it's a great, like, example. It's like, you can tell yourself all day and rationalize something and believe it. Firmly believe it to your core. Give it as advice to other people. But at the end of the day, it doesn't instantly stop the feelings that you're experiencing. Maybe it might help you to talk yourself down or take care of yourself when you're in a situation like that. But it's not going to instantly cure it. For me, the best thing when I get really, really worked up is I need distraction. Because my brain... I have a phobia of birds. Recently, I feel like it's been getting better, but I also haven't had any close encounters with it. I had somebody that thought they could cure my phobia of birds by forcing me to feed an ostrich by my hand. And I had a panic attack, and they laughed as I sobbed while feeding the ostrich, and it did not work. It did not work. The thing is, I love birds. I love them from far away. But the second that they start, like, approaching me, I don't know. I just don't like the fact that they have thoughts behind their eyes. I don't like that they can attack you. I don't like... It started, I think, with, like, geese as a kid. I had too many close encounters with those freaks. Also, there was a time at the zoo that I think my older brother put birdseed in my hair, and that was a fun time. But yeah, with anxiety for me and other stuff like that, I am constantly overthinking and constantly, like, almost diagnosing myself in my brain on things that I should be doing, and like, just stuff that could go wrong and stuff like that. So if somebody starts talking to me about how to help myself, or that it's gonna be, even just saying it's gonna be okay, or like comforting me like that, like I could be crying and then somebody hugs me, it's gonna make me cry harder, like probably 8 out of 10 of the times. I don't like people like hugging me if I'm trying to stop crying, because it's just gonna make me cry more. I would rather somebody like obviously address my feelings and see if I'm good to move on past it, but like I would rather somebody just distract me and pretend that it's not happening so that I can eventually get out of my head. Because once I'm stuck in there, it feels like a hurricane of words is surrounding you. Maybe other people have experienced that, but it feels like a hurricane of words, but the words are within my head, so I can't even like find a word to say because it's just like swirling around me. I feel like head pats would be different, but nobody's ever head pat me when I'm crying. I don't know, I don't tend to cry around too many people. Maybe my brother has one at one point, but I don't really cry around people very often, and usually when I do it's a hug. I'm very nervous all the time about a lot of stuff, but I work through it and I push myself.
You help others. Yippee.
That's a me too, Dimig. I push myself all the time and do stuff that would normally make me anxious on stream. And I do it because I want you guys to be proud of me. But I don't want you guys to baby me. So even if something makes me nervous, I don't tell you guys. But I feel like my tracking, I feel like sometimes you guys can just tell. I feel like you guys can tell when I get into my head, but I'm not sure if you can, or if I'm just, that's me like looking at myself and going, they can tell, they can see me, you guys can see me right now, everybody knows that I am thinking about stuff. I shiver, not when I'm anxious. I shiver when I get adrenaline surges, which can be when I'm really happy or
it must be hard having to go through that whenever it does happen, but the fact you work
sometimes
through it
just
shows
randomly.
how strong you are, how courageous you are, and your perseverance.
Thank you.
I don't have to deal with that much anxiety, but it sounds difficult to deal with Mew mode nodders.
I've had it most of my life, so I get over it. I think it's I'd say I've always had just a little bit of overthinking, but it turned into anxiety after I got like PTSD and stuff. It kind of formed more into anxiety, and it hasn't like, I don't know, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's like the same, but it's definitely like, I'd say started almost a year ago, like a little bit more than a year ago, is when the anxiety started super bad for me. Probably a little bit before that, but I didn't let myself feel it, if that makes sense. I was like in denial, you know? There would be things that scare me or things that make me nervous, but I would not allow myself to feel uncomfortable. I just could not and did not. So I might have had it maybe as long as 2 years ago, maybe 3. But it's hard to tell because I didn't acknowledge it or accept it. I just was like, yeah, I get uncomfortable in groups. Doesn't everyone? Like, nobody likes groups, right? Like, that's me, copium. I had truckloads shipped to my house every day. I was like, everyone gets panicky if their friend is walking fast away from them in a crowd. Everybody gets a little scared. That's normal. That's normal. And just like stuff like that, I would just like copium, and I was like, oh wait, it's not normal. Wait, it's not normal. But yeah, you just gotta figure yourself out. Everybody has a different, everybody's built different and nobody comes with a manual. If everyone has a different normal, nobody's actually normal, and everybody's just kind of pretending a little bit to be what they think should be normal. I don't know. I'd say one of my bigger, like, I hate to use the word triggers, but one thing that does is like loud noises. I can't. if there's even a small group, but they're all yelling, I shut down. But that's not necessarily just my anxiety. That's from other stuff that I've had to deal with as well. I can't do it. I can't do it, and I try, but I'm sitting there in the corner like, that's me trying to look normal, but I'm panicking on the inside, and I don't want to ruin anybody's fun because they're yelling because they're happy, but me on the inside, my brain can't tell the difference between somebody yelling a joke and laughing at the top of their lungs and somebody holding a gun to my head. My brain cannot tell the difference. It cannot make the distinction. So I'm sitting there in the corner laughing at their joke like, because I feel like there's a gun to my head. I'm like, good one. It's not sometimes it's general noise. Most of the time it's like it has to be like a person making it near me, and it doesn't have to be like directed at me, but like just in my vicinity could be. Yeah, I hope so too, I feel. But I'm not sure if that will be. Yeah, maybe someday I should get an update, like a little checkup with my therapist and be like, hey yo, it's been a year. I almost said a bad word. It's been a year, girl. Not the second for the 5 months. So here's the tea. I caught myself. I'm a good kitty. I didn't say it. I was good. I kept it.